Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Heather. I'm an intuitive artist, author, animal communicator, energy healer for pets and people, psychic channeler, medium, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light. I work with a team of guides in the non-physical realms. So that is multidimensional, you might call it, spirit realm, angelic realm. There's kind of a mix of a number of different guides, and different beings step forward as needed to help me get you the answers. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So my team has nudged or prompted me to do something a little different, and we're just going to try it for a few videos, see how it works. But I want to be available to answer your questions. So if you have something of a non-personal nature. Now, if you want to work personally on your stuff, let's do that in private. For me, that's the better place to do it, to have a container where we can honor that connection and your privacy. But if you have a general question about spirituality, about ascension, about extra dimensionals, about the soul's journey, about spirit, about angels, anything, leave it in a comment on any of the videos that you'll see. We'll go through those comments. My team and I will pick a couple to answer every week. And it feels also like every week is going to have a little bit of a mission for us. So that might be a guided meditation that the team does. It might be homework, or if you've taken a class with me, you know that I like to call that soul work. Just a little something to take away at the end of each of these as well. So answering your questions, giving us all a little something to focus on in between the videos, which will probably be weekly. And then let's see how that goes. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I have some questions already queued up that are just things that I'm most often asked, and I wanted to check in with my team and see what answers we can bring through for those. So we have a couple of those videos coming up, but I welcome your questions as well. Before we get started on today's question and answer, I wanted to do a little bit of a housekeeping note. So if you want to come into my upcoming program that I'm so very excited to launch, it's called The Radiant Way. It starts November 1st, and it is a 6-month program of learning, development, optimization, working with topics around spirituality. And you can check out the website that I'll put in the link below. I have a few topics already planned and bucketed out, but those of you who have taken classes with me before know that based on who joins the class, I keep a very fluid approach to the kind of content that comes in. So there may be other topics dropping in, but the way it is structured to work is every month in your online classroom, you will get a 45 to 60-minute video lesson from me. Then the next week after that, the second week, the third week, you'll get a supplemental lesson. There might be some homework for you or soul work. There might be some journal prompts, some different PDF downloads, different things to support the main lesson. And then the last week of the month, you'll get a guided visualization or a meditation. In addition to that, the whole group will meet on a Q&A call, or there'll be a Q&A call available. You don't need to attend if you can't, if you're not able to. But there'll be a video Q&A call to talk about and answer any questions that you have on the topic. So that's the master class level, which is, I'm opening that up for, I don't want this to be a super large group because I want to be able to be available for support and connection. So I'm kind of keeping it a little small. So if it sounds interesting, jump in now while there are still spots available. And then there's a mastermind level where you get everything in the master class, but you also get a 90-minute playground call where just the mastermind group, which is even smaller, we come together in community on a video call, 90 minutes in addition to that Q&A call. And we just chat it up about anything. I've done calls like this in the past, and they're so fun because we just bounce ideas off of each other and we dive really deep and expand into things. My team of guides is there as well to answer any other questions or to jump in on some of the topics as well. So we really just play around in this beautiful, fluid, expanded conversation. There's also a bonus 30-minute channeling for the mastermind group, and they have their own separate special, I was going to say special, but everybody's special, their own separate community online to connect. So I would love to see you there if this feels like something you're interested in. Again, the link is in the description box if you want to learn a little bit more. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or use the contact form on my website to let me know what I can answer for you as it relates to this class. But would absolutely love to see you there. Yeah, that's the main housekeeping note I had. So I'm going to jump into the channeled message that is answering one of the common questions that I get that my team of guides wanted to dive into today in what we're calling, tentatively, we're going with this for the moment, soul QR codes. So what do they even mean by that? They were showing me the phrase soul QR codes, and the QR stands for a quantum remembering. So quantum is the big catchphrase now. I know you know that. If you're here watching this kind of content, for my team, what that really means is busting out of the limitations of any dimensionality and being able to access universal knowledge, wisdom, and then codes. So when I am channeling it, it's not just the words that are coming through. What I would love for you to play around with, see if you can feel into, is the frequency that is behind the words, because often there are different vibrations and frequencies coming in addition to what's being said. Some of you who are sensitive to energy may pick up on that, and that in and of itself can be really beneficial. That in and of itself, outside the confines of language, can give you information and can unlock things within you. And I know that sounds all airy-fairy, but that's how it works. So bringing the channeled message through right now, and I'll be back at the end to wrap it all up. Enjoy. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. The first question we would like to start with in this series of questions and answers is related to the topic of how do I find grace in every day? And that may seem like a strange question, but we want to start with the elevated emotion or elevated frequency state of grace, because many of you find that to be a far off destination, or many of you find that to be something very esteemed and something that only a few, perhaps masters of their craft or masters in your world find, or something that you accidentally stumble upon. Oh, I found a moment of grace. There it is. We would ask you to look at it in a different perspective that may allow you to bring it on board in a different way. And for that, as we like to do, we would break down the word grace into generous reminders of the authentic, courageous existence that each and every one of you lead. Generous reminders of the authentic and courageous existence, GRACE, that each and every one of you lead. One of our missions as a collective, as a coalition of light, when we do come through and speak with you in this way, is to remind you, to nudge you, to awaken you to all that you are. And our words are not sufficient for that sometimes, and that is why, as the channeler mentioned, we bring through frequency as well. And if you can just imagine that that is being beamed out to you in this moment, this remembering, this quantum remembering, this unlimited, unlocked potential that each and every one of you hold. And we understand that often you have an objection to seeing yourself in that larger way. Some of you may have been encouraged not to shine too brightly, not to step out of bounds. Who are you to be so bold? Who are you to be so successful? Who are you to step up and stand out in such a way? But dear ones, do you not feel that it is time to heed the calling of all that you are and all that you can be? And when just one of you does that, you give someone else permission to do the same. And that is part of what we put in the word grace, courageous. It is so incredibly courageous for each of you to boldly be who you are. For often in your world, that is rejected. Maybe not maliciously. Maybe it's through misunderstanding. Maybe it's through someone else just not being able to see past their own filters, their own perspectives. And that is okay, for we still want you to be who you are in every moment. Authentically, your authenticity. What can you author about yourself? If you were to imagine you were writing a story and you were the main character, where would you put yourself? What adventures would you give yourself? What relationships would you give yourself? What challenges might you give yourself? For guess what, dear ones? That is exactly what you have done as a soul. You have given yourself a blueprint. You have given yourself breadcrumbs to follow. You have given yourself a bit of a show, and we would say for some of you it is a rom-com, for some of you it may be a situational comedy, for others it may be a drama. You may come in and out of the different genre, but sometimes seeing yourself in that distant perspective as a character can help. It can help you identify the themes that you have selected for this life. What keeps happening? And we don't mean to say that in a victimhood way. What keeps happening to me? Why does this keep happening? Use that as a clue. Why does this keep happening? What is there for me to learn? What did I miss? If you think of one of your word search puzzles, we would like to say that some of the situations you find yourselves in, can be similar to that, looking for what matches up. Where is the word? Where is the lesson? Where is the coagulation of knowledge that needs to come out of this moment? How can I find it? And to allow yourself to feel excited by that, not downtrodden, not defeated, not depleted, but energized. We want you to look for those generous reminders of your authentically courageous existence in every moment. And do not mistake courageous as something that, oh, I'm too small. I can't stand up for that. I'm not courageous. I can't even speak up for myself sometimes. I don't even want to adult today. We've heard many of you say that, and we are amused by that phrase. You are humaning every day. It does not matter whether it is considered adulting or not. You are doing the heavy lifting of being human. You are doing the hard but glorious work of being in a physical body with limitations imposed just by that. And then also in a world that likes to throw extra limitations at you. So if you were a weightlifter in a gym, you are packing on all of the resistance. Find your strength, for it is there within you. We would like to give you a little assignment for the next week based on the word courage. We would like for you 5 times each day. Find courage. Just witness it. Just observe it. Even if it isn't in yourself, we want you to tune into that frequency of courage. Look at the world around you. Maybe it's in the story someone is telling you. Maybe it is in a movie that you're watching. Maybe it is in something that you feel called to within yourself. Identify, name, and witness the courage. So you may see someone speaking up for themselves out in public. Oh, that is courageous. Okay, that's one. You may feel, I am going to have that difficult conversation. Okay, that's courageous. That's 2. Go throughout each day in the week that follows and find those moments. Some of you may like to make note of them in one of your devices, your mobile devices. Some of you may like to write them down. Whatever works for you. Collect those clues, and we would love for you, if you feel called, to share what you have witnessed in the world around you. Where is the courage? Within yourself or within others? And to be honest, we would love more examples of you finding it within yourself. But we understand, at first it may be easier to witness it in others. So that is your assignment, your scavenger hunt, if you will, for the week, to find the moments of courage all around you. Be blessed, dear ones. Walk in grace, the generous reminder of your authentic, courageous existence. Okay, friends, we've been tasked with an assignment. That's what I thought they were going to do based on what they were showing me earlier. So I like to consider it like a scavenger hunt, just in witnessing what's around you. It may be someone standing up to a bully. It may be someone fully living in a way that looks authentic to you, where you may say, oh, I could never do that. I could never speak up like that. I could never do public speaking. I could never play my instrument for others. I could never, whatever that is, that where you feel that resistance of, look at them doing that. Maybe for you, that's how you witness courage in the world. So I would love for us to do this together as a community. If you feel comfortable leaving examples in the comments, I read each and every one. I may not be able to reply to everyone, but I read them, and I think that can get the ball rolling. And like they said in the channeled message, in this way, you doing it gives someone else permission to do it as well. So I'm going to take it on board and on task and look for the courage 5 times a day. 5 examples of courage for the next week, every day. 5 every day for the next week. I can't even say it. I'm doing math in my head, and that's where we get distracted. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this. We'll make it more clear as we go along what the specific question is. I'll pop it up on the screen or something. But if you have those questions that you want to turn over to my team to answer, again, not of a personal nature, but something in general that everyone can benefit from, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Have an amazing day. Thanks for watching. Bye.